I mean, hey, at least he's got a hobby. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainely Movies. As part of my coverage of the 2024 Toronto International Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2024 psychological thriller, Sharp Corner. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content, like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and even some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Sharp Corner stars Ben Foster, Cobie Smulders, and William Kosovic, and was directed by Jason Buxton. Based on Russell Wangerski's short story of the same name, it tells the story of a man who becomes obsessed with preparing for the car crashes that frequently occur in the front yard of his family's new home. There are different ways a film can hook you with its story. Sometimes this can be done by telling a fantastically fictional tale, allowing you to temporarily inhabit a world you could never really see. Other times, movies grab you by telling a story that's representative of and depicting real life, character-based stories that focus on mundane situations that everybody's experienced and can easily relate to. But some of the most enticing films are the ones that blend these two concepts. Movies that are set in our world and are about normal people who find themselves in unusual but still believably realistic situations. You know, the kind of thing that's unique and specific enough that very few people would have actually experienced, but still grounded enough that you could imagine yourself in the situation without too much difficulty. Sharp Corner is exactly that kind of movie. It's the story of an average family who moves to a new house. A relatable and ordinary enough situation. But on the very first night, they discovered that the design of the road next to their house leads to frequent car crashes in their front yard. Something decidedly less ordinary, but still nothing extraordinary either. Just an unusual situation that feels like it could feasibly happen to anyone. That simple but intriguing premise solidly hooks you, drawing you in for not just a story of car crashes, but also one about the effects that those crashes have on a family, on a scared kid, on an already precarious marriage. Sharp Corner is a slow burn thriller, but also a drama, with psychological elements seeping into both of its core genres. The focus on family drama occasionally becomes a bit too prominent, threatening to split the story a tad too much, but really, this is mostly a dark, character-driven story. It's a tale of obsession and misguided priorities, following the unsettling descent of a character who begins to lose focus and interest in everything in his life except for the violent car crashes in his yard. A premise that initially seems so straightforward soon takes a disturbing turn, right along with the cars at that sharp corner, causing the film to evolve into something you wouldn't necessarily expect at the start. Sharp Corner is a slightly confoundingly focused film. It sets itself up as a film that endeavors to give us a look at the impact this bizarre scenario has on a family. And this is an idea it comes back to throughout, with Cobie Smulders doing what she can with a disappointingly underwritten character, but the main focus here, despite the frequent family subplot detours, is undoubtedly Ben Foster's Josh. He initially seems like a typical everyman character, your average lawn-mowing, khaki-wearing dad, complete with an unfulfilling job and issues at home. So when this bizarre car crash situation occurs, he finds himself obsessing to the exclusion of everything else. This is obviously strange and creepy, made even more so by the lack of clear motivation. Does this obsession stem from a desire to protect his family? Genuine concern for the crash victims? A deep-seated need for control in his life? Or maybe something much darker? The film presents a slow-burn transformation as this character becomes more obsessed, and Foster's performance becomes increasingly disconcerting. This is going to be a movie that divides people a bit. I think the slow-burn nature will test people's patience, with many finding themselves bored by the comparative lack of action in the story. But the other half of audiences will find themselves gripped by the tale. After the expected inciting incident occurs, this slow burn story is left absolutely smoldering with tension, which never dissipates. It's not exactly an unpredictable story. I mean, we've all seen obsession stories before, so we know how these things usually go for the obsessor. But this film does a great job of harnessing our expectations and using them against us, leaving us waiting, holding our breath. This tension is actually two-pronged. We've got the tension that comes along with each escalating move that Josh takes, making us wonder what he'll do next and exactly how far he's willing to take things. But in addition to that, a lot of tension is milked from the seemingly simple sharp corner premise. After that first crash, the audience is left perpetually on edge. Just like the characters traumatized by the events of their first night in the new house, we're left to marinate in almost unbearable anxiety. The flash of headlights passing by outside the window is consumingly distracting, drawing your eye from whatever conversation might be happening at the moment. The sound of each approaching car is anxiety-inducing, causing you to physically react and tense up in your seat. More often than not, you find yourself bracing for something that doesn't come, but that ever-present tension progressively builds, keeping you on edge. It's a simple tactic, but one that's engrossingly effective. Sharp Corner is a film that gets under your skin. Tense, disturbing, and dark. But just like with the gruesome car crashes at the Sharp Corner, you find yourself unable to look away. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one is the tension. So this film's got a great premise. Something that probably could have been its own standalone pro. And this unsettling premise results in multi-pronged tension. There's this ever-present fear of the car crashes looming over everything. The sound of each passing car, the headlights of each approaching vehicle shining through the window, it all keeps you on the edge of your seat, physically tensed and bracing yourself for that inevitable reprise of breaking glass and crunching metal. It's a simple but extremely effective premise, and when it's combined with the disturbing tension of Josh's descent into obsession, it becomes utterly engrossing. The second pro is Ben Foster. He gives a supremely unsettling performance here, somehow believably capturing both ends of this character's personality spectrum. He's able to play the typical okie-dokie, khaki-wearing family man side of Josh, but also chillingly captures the unnerving, obsessive side of the character as well. He becomes extremely creepy as things escalate into something much darker than just preparation and a desire to protect. Foster gives an increasingly disconcerting performance here, but it's one that you can't help but be drawn in by. On the con side, the biggest issue is the underdeveloped family. So I guess I'm kinda using this as a bit of an umbrella con for much of the family-related stuff in the film. This is definitely a movie about poor prioritization and a crumbling relationship, so the family plot points were necessary to really showcase the extent of Josh's descent into obsession, but it split the focus a bit too much. The family drama simply went on too long and was too plot-intensive without ever feeling like it contributed much in the way of story or characterization for anybody besides Josh. His wife, Rachel, felt especially underwritten. I realized that the focus on Josh was an intentional parallel to his single-minded obsession, but I do think the story would have benefited from a little less family drama and some tightening up. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Sharp Corner or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give Sharp Corner 4 out of 5 paws. It's a darkly engrossing tale of obsession and misguided prioritization, driven in large part by Ben Foster's increasingly disconcerting performance. The story is a bit of a slow burn that gets lost in its family drama plot points at times, but it succeeds in remaining unsettling and tense, leaving you on edge, dreading the ominous sound of each approaching car. I would recommend Sharp Corner to people looking for a dark and unsettling psychological story about obsession. It's got a compelling premise and characters that initially seem like everyday people. The premise is a bit wild, but it's still a believable and stressful situation that's easy to be drawn into, especially as it escalates into something extremely engrossing. There's more drama and slow burn thriller than action here, so some audiences might find themselves a little bored or unsatisfied by the story. But if you're okay with the simple concept and want something that still manages to be unnerving and tense, this is one that's worth taking a shot on. If you liked Sharp Corner, I would recommend 1 Hour Photo. Starring Robin Williams in a rare unsettling role, this is another tale of obsession, focusing on a lonely photo technician who becomes fixated on a family whose photos he's developed for years. The This is another very unnerving film that sees quite a bit of dark escalation. If you'd like another movie about car crash obsession, you might want to check out Crash. This controversial 1996 David Cronenberg film is a twisted erotic thriller that stars James Spader as a car crash survivor who becomes involved with a group of people who fetishize car crashes. If you'd like another character-focused car crash thriller, you'll want to watch Nightcrawler. This neo-noir thriller stars Jake Gyllenhaal as an unhinged freelance journalist who seeks out violent and morbid accidents in order to sell the footage. It's a bit more action-oriented and thrilling than Sharp Corner, but does feature some similar morbid escalation. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Sharp Corner? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite movie about obsession? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies. The way life should be.